I'm Genevieve Taylor and this is Bristol Fire School. So today's film, I'm going to show you one of my favourite one-pot barbecue techniques. So we've got a whole smoked chicken with sesame, and underneath it at the same time we're cooking ginger and garlic rice. And the best thing is it's a really economical dish. This is going to feed at least 6 people, so it's a great alternative Sunday lunch. And you don't lose any of the flavour because everything stays into that pot and flavours the rice as the chicken is cooking. This is a fairly slow, long cook. So I've got a good amount of charcoal to start, 2 or 3 lumps of smoking wood. This is apple. That barbecue's just stabilising to about 140 Celsius. Got my smoke running there, apple wood smoke. Gonna make a smoking film about different types of wood and so on. So watch this space for that one. But in the meantime, here's my chicken. It's been dry brining overnight in some salt. Do go back and look at my dry brining film because I think it makes a big difference, and it's definitely a step that I always try to do. Just sliding that chicken into the pot, breast side down initially, 2 smoky fires, shut the lid. So that's going to have an hour like that, breast side down. So a lot of people might assume that food needs to be directly in contact with grill bars to get that smoke flavour, but actually that chicken's going to spend a good 2 hours in that pot, and there's a lot of beautiful smoky air circulating around it, and it's going to suck it all up. Whilst that's having its initial cook, let me just tell you, this recipe actually comes from my book SEARED, which is a Bible to cooking good meat over good fire. I wrote it a few years ago. There's a lot of good recipes in here. Zero hard sell, but just to say, I do write books and I teach classes, physical classes here at Bristol Fire School as well as YouTube. Look at that beautiful colour on the chicken. That's the smoke, that is. And now this is where the magic starts to happen. So all those smoky juices have been collecting in the bottom of the casserole. Nothing gets wasted. So chucking a couple of chopped onions on top of that. Then the chicken back in, breast side up this time. Shut the lid, keep on cooking. So another hour or so, exactly the same position, exactly the same temperature. This recipe teaches a few really useful barbecue lessons. So firstly, food does not have to be in contact with grill bars in order to be smoked. Secondly, you can turn your barbecue into a slow cooker, into an outdoor oven, into a smoker. You can do all of those things on one bit of kit. And thirdly, by capturing all the juices from the chicken in the pot, we're not losing any flavour at all. This is sensible one pot barbecue, and it's going to be some of the most flavourful food you've ever eaten. So we've got a good bit of ginger grated, plenty of garlic crushed with some salt. I like to use white peppercorns for this recipe because I love the punchy flavour you get from them, but black are obviously fine as well. And sesame seeds. So what I'm looking for here is a temperature of sort of 60, 65, which we have. Putting the chicken back onto that plate. Drained rice. So the rice has just been soaking for an hour in cold water, and then chicken stock just up to just above the level of the rice, basically 350 ml, something like that. And then ginger, garlic and the crushed peppercorns into the casserole. Give it a stir. Chicken back on top, sprinkle some sesame seeds over, then tuck a lid on top of it. The rice here is not a side dish, it's the final step of this one pot meal. So that rice is underneath the chicken and it's just going to absorb all the layers of flavour that we've built so far. You know, we've got the garlic and the ginger and the onion and the peppercorns, you know, it's going to absorb all of that into the rice. So your fire's kind of doing 3 jobs here. It created the smoke for smoking the chicken. It released the juices into the liquor to create the flavour base for that rice. And it's cooking the rice. Once you've got a lid on that pan, actually, there's no reason to keep it in the barbecue if you've run out of heat, you've run out of enthusiasm, you know, you can take it into your kitchen. But I've got plenty of heat in here. and it's going to take about half an hour. I may as well use that heat rather than going to, you know, fire up my cooker inside. Stirring those chicken juices in and scratching up all the bottom, because that is where there is some extra magic. This is one of those barbecue dishes that really is greater than the sum of its parts. So you've got one barbecue, one pot, one chicken, one incredible tasting dish that's going to feed a lot of people. Like, this is definitely one of my favourite types of barbecue cooking. You know, it's nothing flashy, it's nothing complicated, it's just slow, calm, quiet cooking that produces incredible results.